Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. My movie review for today is the horror movie The Girl with All the Gifts. A very unique twist on the zombie horror movie genre. Now, when we all say zombie movies, a lot of us were like, roll of eyes, we're sick to death of pretty much zombie movies and zombie games, and the whole zombie genre kind of needs a rest, really. However, when a film as good as this comes along, it gives you such a lovely original twist on the genre. It breathes life into what can't be argued is a dying genre, the zombie genre. It's kind of getting boring now. But this film, like I say, is for me um, a cross between 28 Days Later and the video game The Last of Us. If anybody's ever played that, for me, one of the best games that I've ever played, and one of those few games that I always thought would translate perfectly into a movie, and kind of transcended the games industry and became almost an art form. That game, it was that good. And this film has taken a lot of the stuff from The Last of Us. It's based on a book, but my understanding is the book itself was released after the game, so maybe the book got inspiration from the game as well. Um, the film starts off, it's you're in some kind of military base, you're not sure what's been going on, and then you soon learn there's been some kind of viral outbreak, and it's some kind of fungal infection that affects the population and turns them into like zombies. But not zombies in the traditional sense, even though they still eat flesh and things. They've got like this fungal infection on them. A little bit, if you have played The Last of Us, very similar to that in regards to like the fungal things coming out of the faces and things like that. And on this military base, there is a load of children that have some kind of connection to this viral outbreak. And there are scientists there, one of which is Glenn Close, who essentially are trying to find a cure for this viral outbreak. But in the midst of all this, the base is compromised, everything goes to hell, and a very few of them manage to escape with this girl, Melanie, the girl with all the gifts, who may or may not be the last hope for mankind. And that's all I'm really going to say about the story. After that, it becomes like survival horror, how to keep alive, etc. And that's all I'm really going to say about the story because I don't want to spoil anything for you. But what I will say about this movie is it took my breath away. It impacted me so much. It was such a well-made movie with some amazing central performances from Gemma Arterton, who I thought was so wonderful. Paddy Considine, who's always great. I'm a huge fan of his, and I love Dead Man's Shoes. And Glenn Close was outstanding, but for me, the star of this movie was the little girl that played Melanie, and you're going to have to forgive me because I'm going to have to check her name. It's Senia Nanau, I believe, and I believe this was her first film. And what a performance. I think they've found a superstar here in this girl. She was so natural on screen, so lovely, but menacing at the same time occasionally. I really thoroughly enjoyed her performance. I really did think it was something special from a child actress. I'm not sure of her age, but I think she has got a bright future ahead of her. I think the film needed a strong child actress to play this part, and they really looked out here because it made this film. If they'd have had a poor child actor, this film would have fallen down. But it really didn't, and I think it's in thanks to the wonderful cast in general, but especially this girl. So straight off the bat, you have to see The Girl with All the Gifts. It's one of those that has slipped under the radar, unfortunately. Um, you can get it on video on demand. It's on DVD. Go out there, seek it out, and you will be blown away by this movie. It's a wonderful take on the zombie genre. It's tense when it needs to be. It's horrifying when it needs to be. It's mildly amusing at times. There's a little bit of humour injected in there. But at the central core of this movie, great performances by all the lead characters. So if you've ever played, if you've played The Last of Us, you want to see this movie definitely, because it feels like the closest realization that we're gonna get for this movie to be on screen. I mean, for The Last of Us to be made to be put on screen. But also, because of the grittiness of it, it did remind me an awful lot of 28 Days Later. It felt raw and it felt new and it felt fresh. And it for me, I've had this on my watch list for a long, long time. But the reason why I haven't watched it is because I'm bored to tears with zombie movies, bored to tears with the genre in general. That's why I'm not watching The Walking Dead. I don't want to watch zombie stuff anymore. Um, so I've been delaying watching this. But I'm so glad I watched it now, and I do implore you all to go out and watch this film, because there's a strong possibility this film is going to be one of my favourite films of the year. It's a real gem, this movie, and I highly, highly recommend that you go and see it.